In this talk, we will introduce a perspective on the visual analytics approach for solving complex problems in engineering and biomedicine. Our main intention is that it serves as an introduction to the workshop entitled Visual Analytics Approaches for Complex Problems in Engineering and Biomedicine at the EANN 2023 conference. Along the talk, we will go through an ongoing 3-year project which addresses this topic, financed by the Spanish Ministry of Science and Innovation. We will go through the following topics: the motivation and hypotheses that moved us to propose the project, the basic workflow in visual analytics that serves as guide for developing our solutions. We will also present the methods and techniques we consider for developing solutions for the problems. Then we will briefly expose the work plan for the project. And finally, we will present some results achieved up to this point, and present some conclusions. Many problems today are complex and not directly addressable by machine learning methods. They have some ingredients that make them difficult to treat. They are ill-posed. The questions to be solved are not clear. They are multi-domain and strongly coupled, that is, they cannot be addressed from a single domain but in a holistic way. Examples of these problems are cancer genomics, COVID pandemics, power demand analysis. Notice, for instance, that COVID pandemics could not be approached only from the biomedical point of view, but had coupled social and economical implications as well, and required a holistic approach. This kind of problems cannot be solved directly by machine learning methods. On the contrary, they need human-machine learning hybrid approaches, featuring an iterative and exploratory workflow that allows to bring together related pieces of user domain knowledge to progressively conform a well-defined solution that can be addressed by computational intelligence methods. The basic workflow is presented in this slide. It is based on the workflow of Van Wijs, shown below. The data is processed by the computer using machine learning and visualization. The visual image goes through the perception system, P, incrementing the knowledge, K. The acquired knowledge modulates the perception and triggers exploration mechanisms, E, to discover more. These mechanisms modulate the machine learning and visualization operations to satisfy the needs of the user. We considered some components to build solutions according to the previous scheme: interactive data cubes that allow to filter and aggregate information by groups like weekday, day-hour, bins of a variable. Morphing projections, a technique developed by our group that allows to smoothly transition among different views, allowing to provide insight and connection between different domains. Dimensionality reduction, that captures the low-dimensional latent structure in high-dimensional data, allowing to represent the items in a meaningful way, organized by similarities. We also considered machine learning for interpretability, including the visualization of machine learning output, introspection, the visualization of the internal model parameters, and also steerable machine learning, that is, conditioning of the machine learning algorithms based on users' needs. Also, novelty detection using analytical redundancy have been considered, including virtual sensor approaches or autoencoder architectures. Accordingly, the project was divided into 5 work packages: 1. Interaction and data visualization. 2. Dimensionality reduction approaches. 3. Novelty detection. 4. Other machine learning approaches. 5. And applications involving engineering and biomedical problems. As of midterm, encouraging results were achieved. In anomaly detection, we used deep autoencoders to build health indicators that can be used in condition monitoring, but also to visualize trends or to highlight abnormal patterns. Autoencoders were also used to detect anomalies using a 2-step classifier that not only detects abnormal condition, but also highlights the attributes showing abnormal values. Morphing projections allows to smoothly combine views expressed in terms of spatial encodings, showing different insights. We used this technique in cancer genomics to quickly find visualizations showing insight in specific attributes like, in this case, the distribution of expressions in a certain gene for different cancer types. The morphing projections technique was also used for COVID clinical data visualization. In this example, we combine encodings of several clinical attributes, like the status, gender, drug administration, or days in ICU, with a spatial representation of patient evolution time series using dimensionality reduction. The results showed interesting insights, allowing also segregation of data by different criteria. We also proposed a way to visualize time series using echo state networks. The echo state network reservoir produces a large number of dynamic modes nonlinearly related to the input time series. A simple autoregressive prediction model on this high-dimensional space has been found to characterize the time series. A linear projection of the singular values of the autoregressive matrix was found to visualize the dynamical states of a motor out from complex vibration data. Interactive dual projections of the GEM is another idea we used for cancer genomics. Dual projections imply building two maps, one for samples, the rows of the GEM, and one for genes, the columns. The user can interact in several ways including link selections, coordinated views, and recomputation of the projections conditioned by subsets of genes or samples. Finally, we have used a deep convolutional autoencoder to build a visual 2D map of the cell motility patterns by projecting matrices including descriptive features of small videos. The result shows promise in further developments in cancer research, since cell motility is closely related to cancer process and metastasis. This technique can help in understanding the conditions on which cancer develops and also in the ways to steer the cell movement to reduce cancer progression. As concluding remarks, we can say that many problems today are complex, multi-domain, high-dimensional, ill-posed, and many times the questions themselves for these problems are not well defined. Such problems require combining human and computational intelligence, leveraging the abilities of both approaches. Visual analytics approach is a good approach. It is incremental, exploratory, iterative, intuitive, and cross-domain enabling. We have shown several techniques, such as morphing projections, dimensionality reduction, and interactive data cubes as basic building blocks for the project research on novel methods and applications techniques. Finally, we have presented promising results in the areas of engineering and biomedicine, achieved at the midterm of the project, including anomaly detection, cancer genomics, time series analysis and visualization, COVID clinical data analysis, and visualization of cell motility patterns. So, that is all, and you can see more videos, papers, and related material in this page, which we plan to have updated along the project. Thank you very much for watching.